all of this.
So welcome everyone. You're watching us now. We're live. So let's just introduce ourselves. So I'm Edson. I'm the executive director of Hayek Global College, also a professor. I'm professor of economics and also managing Hayek Global College. And here we have with us today three of our professors, two from the MBA and one from the undergraduate program. So I'll ask you to introduce yourselves. So please, I'll start with Tawni. Tawni, please introduce yourself.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to this session. And I want to say happy 2025. I hope you become a part of the Hayek Global College family. I'm a PhD economist. I study institutional economics, which I look at the impact of rules and regulation on the choices people make and the paths that communities and countries take in order to bring prosperity or ignite passion within their countries and across their partnerships. I came to Hayek Global College about a year and a half ago in 2023, and it's been a rewarding experience. And my hope is that you continue to join us. And if you ever need to get a hold of me, you can reach me through the various social media channels. I'll move it on to Jean-Baptiste.
So hi everybody, I'm Jean-Baptiste Jausssaud. I'm an economist and entrepreneur based in France, Marseille. I'm glad to teach at Hayek Global College. I'm also teaching at Aix-Marseille University and MODSPE, the fashion business school. So I really love the Hayek Global College project because it's really international and we share something very precious to me, which is freedom, learning how to be free by knowing well economics, knowing the world, not fearing by knowing, by acquiring the necessary knowledge to enjoy the full responsibility that goes with freedom. So that's really a fantastic journey, and I'm glad to teach managerial economics at the MBA, but I can't wait with my friend and colleague Tawni and Mauricio to share an international course, and Mauricio will introduce himself and tell a little bit more about this good project.
Sure. Thank you, Jean-Baptiste. So I'm Mauricio Bento. I am the Brazilian professor here. I will be teaching in the undergraduate program that will just beginning this year, 2025, our news for 2025. I'll be teaching economics. I'm an economist. I'm originally from Rio de Janeiro, but now I'm based in Brasilia, just in the same neighborhood as the Hayek Global College. So I hope to see you here online and maybe even in person.
Great, thank you, Mauricio, for introducing. Mauricio is the one that's closer to us, but we also have Jean-Baptiste, who's all the way in France, and Tawni, who's all the way in the United States. And for people who are probably looking at us and trying to understand how are these professors coming from different places in the world, and at the same time teaching the same university. Oh, we don't have campuses all over the world. We have an online program, which is the MBA, which teaches from people from multiple places joining online in the class in Zoom. And now we have an undergraduate program in which students are going to be in person in a physical classroom, but the professors are going to come online. So we don't necessarily have to have our professors here in Brasilia to teach our students, which gives us access to students, to professors coming from multiple places in the world. And another detail that we're going to bring to the undergraduate program is that we're going to have projects that are called COIL. COIL is short for Collaborative Online International Learning Projects. And on these projects, we're going to be able to do partnerships with universities in different places so that our students can work on projects with students in other places in the world. And on the economics classes specifically, we're going to be doing a project with three different universities, right? Hayek Global College here in Brasilia, and Aix-Marseille in France, and is it Florida State in Florida, in
the U.S., yes.
In the U.S. So we're very excited about this possibility, of bringing together people from a very different backgrounds and contexts to be working together in a setting in 3 different physical classrooms, but in one big online global classroom from Europe, United States, and in Brazil. So I'm just gonna ask each one of you to answer the question. What do you think is so special about this project? And again, we can start with Tawni and go around.
Given my course experiences in the MBA program at Hayek Global College, it's the richness of bringing students who are learning in other countries for a common reason. And as Jean-Baptiste enthusiastically stated, it's about liberty, which means individual responsibility and accountability. And it's looking inside the person for the things that are possible to move out and up, so that not only are you helping yourself, but you're helping others. And as we know, we navigate throughout our communities and around the world, because all 3 of us are very international in the scope of our work, is that we realize that there are some basic principles that guide these people, but you have these different social institutions and you have cultural exchanges and such that sometimes can interfere, but they also can enhance some of the relationships. The beauty of economics is everyone has a role, everyone has a specialty. And when we come together through cooperation and harmony, we can do some incredible things and lift many people up and out of poverty and help advance them in their lives. And getting those stories from the students in their specific countries or communities within one country opens us up to a whole new set of tools, because we realize that, yes, we have some fundamentals as defined by the economic theories and curriculum, but we also understand that there are many ways to navigate the world through the communities and the countries. And that information comes from the students, which I'm always learning from my students as well as the students learning from me. So this is what excites me the most about this project, and especially moving it through the undergraduate curriculum as well as bringing it into the graduate curriculum. It's a robust experience.
Thank you, Tawni. Jean-Baptiste.
Yeah, I'm really glad teaching in that condition, because I think economy is sometimes perceived as the science studying money. That's fake. That's maybe accounting. But economy is here to study the interaction between people, and having a course where we give some knowledge, some information, but also some practical interaction is the best way ever to teach economics. And that's a way to teach in the future, with the new method. And I think that's 100% the mindset, the core values of Hayek Global College. So I'm really glad to be in a classroom, digital classroom, international classroom, in condition of true economic interaction, to talk, of course, about economic content.
Sure, my turn now.
Oh, Mauricio.
I think that one very special thing about this program is that we notice that an undergrad or an MBA are not about learning only technical skills. We also need to learn about institutions, culture, and we not only learn with our professors that are very experienced and have a very good career, but we can also learn with our peers. So at Hayek Global College, we want to connect people, connect students from all around the world, because we think that we can learn together. And by learning together, we can learn how countries work, how institutions work, how culture work, how companies work all around the world. And that is very special. That's very unique about Hayek Global College. And I think that we can create something very, very, very big now with this COIL project.
Very good. Very good. Thank you. And it's unique in the sense that we're a question now for you guys. We're talking about how it's important to have different cultures in a single classroom, and we sometimes use this term diversity, right? That we're using diversity to bring together students. And how is it different, the way that Hayek Global College seeks to bring together people in a diverse setting, versus what other universities might be doing, in a sense that we are purposely bringing together people from different places in a single classroom. Just in general terms, how do you guys perceive this interaction?
Well, maybe I will start answering. I think there is two goals in a course and in a lesson, two main goals. One is to teach the matters, here economics, to teach from the teacher to the student. And the other one is what the student can teach about himself. It's not from the outside, it comes from the inside. And sometimes at a certain period of your life, what you know is what your neighbor in class don't know. And what you don't know is what your neighbor in class know. So I think Hayek Global College is a perfect teaching network to improve both the knowledge with teachers, with people, and to know more about yourself, about who you are, because you are with people diverse than you. So knowing how people are different is the best way to understand why you are different. And so teaching about you, I think, is one of the major added value of the Hayek Global College pedagogic process. And that's not only about having an international environment to have something fun, that's most of all, first of all, a way to better train individuals that know themselves better, and so use the knowledge we provide them another way than if they were less personally developed. So yeah, I love this Hayek Global College, both learning inside and outside system.
Great, thank you. And why is economics education important?
Oh, I'll take that one. Because I think, I know economic education is important, because from the minute you get up in the morning to the time you go to bed, and if you have a strong financial portfolio, 24 hours, you're making a series of choices between this and that. And as others have mentioned, it's not just about the monetary, but it's about the non-monetary aspects of life. And with economics, what you can do is you can balance what the choices and the alternatives in front of you in such a way where you're strategically thinking about how it is that you're going to help yourself by bringing a lot of other people along with you. And that can be people in your families, communities, your country, around the world. So again, like other universities and college, Hayek Global College teaches the fundamentals. It advances your understanding, in this case of economics. It provides you with an acquisition of skills that will be useful throughout your life. But we also think about, as Jean-Baptiste mentioned, about what it means to you as a person and the things that are important to you outside of the monetary aspects of you, so that you can, again, through cooperation and harmony, is you can think about what it is that you as a person, with everything that surrounds you, your social norms, your cultural forces, the political constraints, you can think strategically about those choices, again, 24/7. And that's what I think we do best. And that's how we differentiate ourselves in the higher education space.
We learn how to think differently, right? Thinking like an economist helps us make better decisions in our day-to-day lives.
It does. It provides us with a common platform and a common language. But contrary to many people's views, economics is not that dismal science if the approach to advancing people's understanding of economics is similar to the one that we have all described.
Right. When we say dismal science, what does dismal mean? Dismal is kind of a weird word, right?
Okay, it's a weird word, I guess. For us in the United States, it means it's mind numbing. It's all about formulas and models and graphs. But when you get away from that, there are some few fundamental things that you need to know about economics. Again, because if you want to go into the practice of the profession, you have to have some basic understanding. And as you advance through your different courses and you get into the higher level courses, you'll be overwhelmed with the theory and the modeling and all of what I just described, the dismal part of it. But as we have described, Hayek takes the bonus approach, so to speak. We provide that foundation, that economic dismal foundation, so to speak, and that's with the fondest of hearts that I say that. But then we add on through projects like the COIL projects, these extras so that you can see, hey, what you're learning in these courses applies to many aspects of your life, your personal, your professional, but then it also helps you make strategic choices through your financial decisions and others 24/7.
Awesome. And Mauricio, how has economic education helped you in your professional life?
Oh, it helped with everything, as Tawni just mentioned. It's a set of tools that I see that the economic law knowledge, it helps you, it changes the way you see the world and helps you see the world in a better way. So many times you can apply it to different fields. Like there's law in economics, there's growing now, also economics of healthcare. With economics, you can study specific fields like infrastructure. So all of the things that economics do, all the sets of tools that gives to you, it empowers you to see the world in a better way and see what works and what doesn't work. And if it doesn't work, why it doesn't work. So I think it's very useful for any professional to learn economics, even a doctor, an engineer, or lawyer. Everyone should learn at least the basics of economics to look at the world in a different and better way.
May I add on to that beautiful statement? Is it also helps like social workers and politicians, elected officials, and even people who stay at home to raise their children to see opportunities where other people see problems.
Excellent. How has economics helped you in your entrepreneurial life, Jean-Baptiste?
Well, I think the main reason you can be successful as an entrepreneur is you are solving somebody else's problem. You are bringing something to your community. So you need to understand the people. And I don't know any other way, any better way at least, to understand people as economics, to understand the markets, to understand people behavior, to understand consumption, economics from the offer, to understand all the parameters that can make you successful as an entrepreneur. So I would say you may not study only economics to be an entrepreneur, but whatever is the other thing you study, you have to mix it with economics to be a great entrepreneur.
Fantastic. Yes, it really helps us think differently and know that incentives matter. The world is scarce, and there are scarce resources, and we have to make decisions on top of those few insights that are really profound, and we can take a lot out of it. And we bring the name Hayek Global College from a famous economist called Friedrich Hayek, which is a Nobel Prize. And how do you see the importance of Hayek's legacy to the study of economics?
I can take that one.
Go ahead, Mauricio.
I think that Hayek is one of my favorite economists. When I started learning economics, I was still in like the first year of my undergraduate economics school, and I got to know about Hayek and started reading about him. And the good thing is that I was reading in some classes, I was reading some critiques to his work, and in other classes I was reading his work, and I saw that his work was very powerful, very special. It's like Isaac Newton for economics for me, because it's a very simple idea that the market, the importance of the market is that it creates a decentralized information process. So that's what the market is about. So nobody knows the perfect price for a good, but the market creates that price because there's supply and demand and all this. So this special idea that people already knew a little bit about. That's why I mentioned Isaac Newton. Everybody knew that the apple falls from the trees, but he gives a different perspective to it. He brings this idea that the market is a process of information. So it gives to everybody the information about different markets, because there is no the market, but there are different markets, and the prices affect those markets. So if a good, now, for instance, I was talking to a friend recently, and he was talking about investing in the coffee market. He wanted to invest in coffee production. Why? Because the price of coffee is super high. So it's information. So if you invest in the coffee, maybe if you were selling coffee now, I told him, he asked me, he was asking my opinion about it. And I said, if you had coffee now, it's good to sell coffee now. But if you're starting to invest in this market now, will it be good in 2 or 3 years? That I told him, I don't know, because I'm not specialist in coffee. But if you want to invest in this, you should study. So, but that came to my mind at that point, that the price of coffee now being high is signaling to everybody, invest in this market. So supply will grow. So I and this was the very special thing that I got to know when it was started to study economics with reading Hayek's works.
Tawni, maybe you have something about the Hayek legacy?
Oh, that's perfect. Thank you. For me, Hayek is one of my top economists, and it's because he believed in the power of the freedom to choose without interference from government forces. Not saying that government doesn't play an important role in the economy, it does, especially when it operates in a limited capacity to protect our rights as individuals, regardless of who we are, and it provides a few public goods and services. Beyond that, if you turn things over to responsible and accountable individuals, they'll do some incredible things without this heavy hand of the government. And some of those incredible things include creating new jobs, generating wealth, not only for themselves, but for many, many others, and making their communities and their countries better through their independent, mutually advantageous exchanges. And if something isn't mutually beneficial, then it doesn't happen, because we have our most important asset, and that is the freedom to choose. And Hayek focused very much on the responsibilities of the individual, with the government, a responsible government, humming in the background. And I appreciated that separation, because it really helped me understand what it meant to grow and prosper from the bottom up, versus having a heavy-handed authority, whomever it may be, controlling things from the top down. From the bottom up, you'll get sustainable growth and development. From the top down, we all know what happens there.
Well, I totally agree with what Mauricio and Tawni said, and that's also why Hayek is one of my favorite economists. So I would just add maybe why it's a perfect name, and I'm proud to be teaching at Hayek Global College, and why I would be so proud to be a Hayek Global College student. Of course, Hayek is a Nobel Prize awarded great economist, but also he can be considered as an historian. He is a recognized economist. He is a sociologist. He is a philosopher. He is a great thinker, a great mind, and not limiting your knowledge to one area, I think, is also one of the message of Hayek Global College. That's why I think he's a fantastic figure, and is the first great translators personality. He's the Leonardo da Vinci of thinking, you know, of his time, and his influence is worldwide. So I think he's a great name, and you can go a little bit everywhere in the world, in England, in the US, having Hayek Institute, Hayek Work. I know our friend Tawni ever teach at Fribourg University, which is the last Hayek university, but he really, my economist friend, all of you will, I think, agree, is really a worldwide character. Everybody know him and recognize his work, every expertise and every country. So I think he's a great common figure for Hayek Global College.
Yes. Curiosity. Jimmy Wales was the founder of Wikipedia, was influenced by Hayek. And if you think about the way Wikipedia works, it's a decentralized network of writers everywhere doing the work. And there's many other entrepreneurs who were influenced by Hayek that we haven't heard about. One of them is Charles Koch from Koch Industries, but there are others too. And even the model that we use for teaching at Hayek Global College is also a little bit influenced by the role of decentralization, right? Is getting professors from different places, students from different places, without being in a certain physical place to conduct the classes. So there's many virtues that come with Hayek's insights that we can use in our day-to-day lives to think about the world in a different way, and that's the takeaway that I get to. Just one question.
By the way, just to add on your point, I wrote an article in 2017, and the title of the article was "What Wikipedia and Bitcoin Have in Common," and both were this point linking to Hayek. Actually, both have this point.
Yeah, cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin is another great example of Hayek's insights on work, right, in practice. And another question I just wanted to ask is, I see the name Common Sense Economics after your name, Tawni.
Yes.
And that is one of your works as a co-author, right? Would you tell us a little bit about it?
Sure. Common Sense Economics, thank you very much, is based on Adam Smith's Wealth of Nation, what everyone should know about wealth and prosperity. We have a lot of Hayek running through the textbook. We start out, it's just a common sense book. And we try to strip the economics presentation of basic economic fundamentals and make it just about reasoning, everyday life, and to draw from economics the practical applications throughout the various parts of economics. And that includes explaining through the economics lens why it is that some communities and countries prosper, why others struggle, what is the difference between allocating resources in markets versus government. You've heard some of that discussed here. And then we end the book with the elements of practical personal finance. How can you look at your world and the financial aspects of it and think about how strategically to make decisions that have future consequences that lead to comfortable living and prosperity, not only for you, but your family members and the people important to you, including your community. So thank you for that question. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. I think it's a very useful, accessible book that people who are getting into economics should certainly take a look at. And we're also going to use it in class, right?
Yes, we do. Well, it's just a primer, and it's so easy with references and footnotes and such. And the 4th edition was just released last July. So reach out if you're interested. Yes, thank you.
Yes. We can put more information in the description to link into the book.
Along with Mauricio's article. That would be nice. I'd like to see it.
Sure.
Thank you.
Certainly.
I have a lot of reading, one book and one article.
All right. Any closing remarks from each one of you? And we can start with Jean-Baptiste this time.
really excited about this new journey. Say we will start this COIL project, and after talking about all this value, all these ideas, we will put it in practice. So maybe I will finish with a call. Mauricio, Tawni, and I will decide to put this work in practice. So to the people watching this video, let's join us. Come to put it in practice with us at Hayek Global College or at Florida State or Aix-Marseille University, whatever, because we will join all together. And one day, internet will keep this video, and this teaching method will be evaluated by everybody, and we say, oh, these people were kind of pioneer. So we still have some room for pioneers, so please join us.
Great, thank you, Jean-Baptiste. Mauricio.
With my closing remarks, I'd like to add to a point that we mentioned before regarding what economics can do to your life. I was living in context to other cultures, other people, other institutions. A few years ago, I was living in Washington, D.C., and I watched a lecture by Mr. Wales from Wikipedia. And he mentioned Hayek. So he recognized that Hayek influenced his life. And I was listening to his lecture, and I made the link at that point with Bitcoin. So I noticed that Wikipedia and Bitcoin had this in common. So that's why I wrote the article. And I wrote the article for a US-based think tank. I worked for one think tank, and I wrote to another think tank based in Atlanta. It's FEE. As we mentioned, we will put the link of the article in the description. So this is how connecting to other people around the world, how studying economics and getting this contact with knowledge, that's how it impacts your life. So you can work with different things, you can apply your knowledge to different fields, and that's very enriching and empowering. So I recommend that everybody has that. And that's why I'm in this project. I think that Hayek Global College is an innovation in education. And I think that we can increase the impact of higher education in the lives of the students.
Okay, I guess I'm the one who's going to finish this. I want to encourage everyone who's watching this video to go to the Hayek College website and to learn more about the journey that you can take along with us. Everyone has the freedom to choose in some capacity, and our specialty is to help you learn how to use that freedom in a way that not only advances you towards achieving your goals, but it helps you think about how you can reach into your place of business, into your communities, into your households, and help others do the same thing. And through this COIL project, not only are we going to learn about our own journeys, given our background, but we're also going to learn from others. And trust me, you will constantly learn from others, and they will stretch your thinking in ways unimagined. So there will be seen benefits for being a part of the Hayek Global College, but also there are going to be many, many unseen benefits that you never imagined that are going to become a part of your life. And I think equally as important is you're going to develop some important relationships that will be lifelong, and that excites me.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Tawni, Mauricio, Jean-Baptiste, for the conversation today. I'm sure everybody who heard us is a little bit more curious now to understand about what we're doing at Hayek. And I'm very excited to see everything what we're going to be able to do with these undergraduate students starting in February now. Reminding everyone that Hayek is very student-centered, and we're very focused on practical instruction to our students. And this COIL project is one of these innovative methodologies that we're bringing, and we're joining Jean-Baptiste with his class all the way in France, Tawni all the way in Florida, United States, we're students, and Mauricio here in Brasilia. to create this wonderful multicultural project to learn about economics. So thank you again, everyone, and I hope you have enjoyed our live. And thank you, Tawni. Tawni, you have a remark?
Yeah. How do potential students get in touch with Hayek Global College?
Great. So if you're interested, we're going to also put the link in the description if you're interested in learning more about Hayek Global College. Also, you can look for us in Google. Just search for Hayek College, Hayek Global, whatever, you're going to find us. And just click in there and you'll learn more about our undergraduate. We have the undergraduate program, the MBA. And if you want more information, just click on and talk to us, or just put your information on the website.
And then also, I know I speak on behalf of everyone in this room. If you have a need or a want to reach out to any of us, please feel free to do so. We're only a click away.
Fantastic.
I agree. If you have any question, please contact Tawni.
Good one.
Contact away. Our professors are excellent.
That's all of us. It wasn't only for the joke.
Yes, absolutely.
And thank you so much. So let me just ask Bajri to end the live.